welcome. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. We're alive once again. Welcome to Apple Home Talk Live, the weekly live stream all about building a smart home. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's say hi to some folks in the chat as people start rolling in, and then we'll get going here today. Lone Star Trent, Brandon Doyle. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you here. John Wolf, Scott McNair. What's going on, Scott? Ranked number 2. Oh, George, ranked number 1. What's up, George? Good to see you back. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. At the top of the leaderboard is George. Awesome, man. Hope you are doing well. Looks like you got back on the bike. Good to hear. Turin, what's up, Turin? Shahif, hello. Thump Jimmy, what's up, Thump Jimmy? C-Buzz Pamakit from France is in the house. How's everybody doing? Let me know how your week's going. How's the weather? It has been, today is the first time the sun shone in probably a full week at least. It has just been nonstop raining here, humid and rainy every day. Super depressing, but we got a little sunshine today, so I'm not complaining. Georgia in the house. What's up, Jeff from Georgia? Not too far. Good to see you here. Vinny, what's up, Vinny? Back in the saddle again. Eric, what's up, Eric? Mark. Awesome, man. We got a lot of channel members here. Good to see everybody. Appreciate you guys, all you channel members here in the chat. Eye of the Storm. What's up, Eye of the Storm? Let's see. Mike Manley, Rhode Island in the house. South Austin. Awesome. Albert, Blazing, Boise, Idaho. Nice to see you, Albert. Bruce, what's up, Bruce? Classic Zero, raining and humid in Louisiana. I feel that. That sounds about right. Send some rain to Colorado. I'll send some your way. I'll do that. Says Jim. So what's everybody been up to? Let's talk about smart homes for a little while. I like to cover anything in the news and stuff like that, new products coming out, and just hang out for a little while, super casual. If maybe this is your first time joining a stream, just like to hang out, answer some questions, as many as I can, and yeah, just kind of help each other build our smart homes here as we go. So a couple things to highlight real quick for those who may be following kind of closely or are interested at all. There was another Matter update. So Matter 1.4.2 was just released. So for those who may not be aware, Matter is that new smart home standard that's aimed to just make everything work well. As we know, with any new standard, that's never really the case. There have been some speed bumps, to put it lightly, along the way, but they are continuing to improve things, which we like to see. So this is just a minor update that just came. We're expecting the next bigger update to be sometime this fall, which we'll see what comes then. But just to kind of highlight some of these things that come with this recent update, Wi-Fi only commissioning. So what this means is basically Matter over Wi-Fi devices will be able to connect to your smart home over just Wi-Fi and not require Bluetooth. And right now they do, so that could be a good thing, I guess, for product manufacturers and stuff in the future. Maybe we'll see better prices, not having to require Bluetooth for commissioning. There are some security enhancements, which is always nice. We're not going to dive too deep into the weeds there. Improved scene management. So let's see what this means for users. So what this is, providing a standardized way for controllers to define and activate scenes across multiple Matter devices. So in a nutshell, let's say you have scenes set up in Apple Home or whatever that utilize different Matter accessories, maybe non-Matter accessories as well. This should just provide a smoother, faster, and more reliable scene activation with your Matter devices when you're utilizing scenes. Let's see what else we got here. More efficient networking communication. So this could improve battery life essentially. If basically it's let's see how to explain this. This will kind of optimize the network some and define, or your devices, and define how and when and how often devices should report attribute changes. So basically it's maybe not listening or requiring that feedback so much, which could extend battery life. That could be a good thing. There is this could be good here too. So if you've ever added a Matter device right here, consistent endpoint unique ID. So something's going on with my mouse today. If you ever try to connect a Matter accessory and it didn't go well the first time, you may have seen like multiple instances of that Matter accessory in your smart home when you're trying to commission or add the device. So apparently this could fix that. So no more duplicate devices or confusion when reconfiguring devices or updating their connections to Matter. That is something I've seen a lot. So that would be a welcome change. Standardized robot vacuum cleaner behaviors. So right now, I guess different robot vacuum manufacturers, basically the robot vacuums can perform a little differently through Matter. So this just creates a standard and will provide more predictable and consistency across the different vendors. So, and they're saying enabling faster integrations by controllers like Apple Home, SmartThings, and so on. So we like to see that. Let's see anything else significant here. And more enhanced network infrastructure requirements. So this is kind of, I think, a good thing. Basically, it's going to require certain things from your network before it can connect a device. So that could be good if you have maybe a crappy network. A lot of the times, I'll see comments and stuff on video. Somebody says this so-and-so is not working right or not working well, or it's always dropping offline. Usually there's a follow-up comment that says your network probably sucks. So this will require certain things from the network, I guess, before it connects. Improved certification process. And yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Let me check in with you guys here in the chat. We need more Matter binding devices, Lone Star Trent says. Let's see, I see some questions here. What's up, Caroline? Caroline's in the chat. Hey, y'all. Mrs. Whatley. Yeah, something is definitely going on with my mouse. I'm going to try to restart my mouse and see if I can get this working. Working a little bit better. Yeah, Shahif. So Shahif says, cool. So no, this robot supports room control and this one just on off. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So we'll see more consistency across those robot vacuum devices with this update, it sounds like. Do you think the update will automatically remove the duplicates? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I know I do have a lot in there. I think there's some stuff you can do in Apple Home. Like if you're talking about Apple HomeKit, you can actually go in and there's a Matter setting in your phone's settings. And I think it might be under General, and you can actually see stuff. You could delete stuff out of there. I'm not sure if that's using Keychain. It might be connected to Keychain. So you might want to look there, but yeah, that'll be good. Greg celebrates 46 months of membership. Thank you, Greg, so much for your continued support. Greg says, do we even know what version of Matter is coming out with iOS 26, etc.? My guess is it will not be this new one. Yes, that is a very good point. We do not know. Apple's one of the ones that doesn't really tell us what version of Matter they're supporting, and they sort of like cherry pick what features and accessories and stuff like that they want to support with Matter. So that's what makes all this very confusing, I think, for most consumers. I hope that one day all of the big players like Apple Home, SmartThings, Amazon, Google, all of them will just be on the same Matter version, like Matter 1.4. That's what I was hoping everyone would get to that this year. 1.4 hasn't happened yet. Right now, I want to say Apple is on Matter 1.2. And even then, like I said, they kind of cherry pick what features. And I know, robot vacuums, for example, we can use robot vacuums, but there's certain features with Matter that they still don't support that are in the Matter 1.2 spec. So it's one of those things like, we get this Matter update. That's great, but we still need Apple to update HomeKit to support the latest Matter spec, which they're still not even on Matter 1.4 yet. So, take all this for what it's worth, at face value. It's good to see the Matter spec continuing to evolve. I do hope to see, like I said, Apple kind of catch up and everybody else kind of catch up and get on the same Matter spec would make things so much better. But, what can you do? Frederick, what's up, Frederick, in the chat? Good to see you. Oh, sweet, Shahif, we're wearing the same shirt today. All right, we got another smart home legend in the house. Nice. Awesome, man. Thanks for checking out the merch. Awesome. Hey, this is good to see. Jason, thank you for sharing. Jason says, I have to say the Thread update in tvOS 26 has really helped my smart home. So speaking of all this kind of Matter and Thread updates, Thread is another thing to keep in mind. So what version of Thread the devices support? Really confusing, I know. But it said that, confusing. So it said that Thread 1.4 will be supported with tvOS 26. So your Apple TV and your HomePods have a Thread radio in it, and they support a certain version of Thread. Right now, it's not 1.4, which I think 1.4 is the latest. And this does not mean Matter 1.4. We're talking about Thread. But here to show you this little article right here, talking about some of the new updates with tvOS. And I have seen this a few places, right? So it says, on the other hand, tvOS 26 strengthens the Apple TV's role as a home automation hub with support for Thread 1.4, improving connectivity between smart devices. So I said it that way because Apple has not officially stated, or I have not seen anything official that says it does support 1.4. It's just one of those things, but it's been reported in a number of places that that tvOS 26, which is currently on beta, does support Thread 1.4. And I've also heard, like Jason said here in the chat, a lot of people have reported that are using those betas that it has really improved things with their Thread network and their smart home network. So that's really encouraging. And if you are also running the betas, let me know what you think if you have that experience as well. Greg says, so the Apple TV will be on Thread 1.4. What about the HomePods? So the HomePods, I don't think you can force the update, but you should get those updates available when you update your other devices. But I assume that the HomePods will also support Thread 1.4 if this is the case, and that's really what's going on. So let's see, let me check in. I see some questions here. Okay, I'm going to try to save your questions. Something is wrong with my mouse today. Restarting it did not help. What's up, Eric from the Netherlands? Glad you could make it here. Go ahead and answer a couple of these questions. If you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I'll try to flag it and come back to as many questions as I can. Curious Sam says, with robot vacuums in HomeKit through Matter and multi-floor setup, which floors rooms reflect in your HomeKit for your vacuums, I guess? So with multi-floor setup, that is a good question. I actually do not know. I have not tested this. So if anybody is running a single robot vacuum on multiple floors within HomeKit through Matter, let us know if you have an answer to this question. I haven't done this because I don't do multi-floor setups in my house, so I have not tested this out, but that is a good question. I know with certain robot vacuums, you can select the room. Even in Apple Home, you can select which room you want it to clean, or all rooms, obviously. Some of them don't. Again, that's that Matter version thing right there. Depends on which version of Matter the robot vacuum is supporting. But with a lot of them, you can choose the room. I'm not sure about different floors, though. Let's see. All right, let me look. Oh, we got some questions popping in. All right, let me save these. Dan, what's up, Dan? Dan the man's in the house. Good to see you, Dan. Okay, definitely got some questions flying in. Let's see, any other news related stuff to cover real quick? I don't really think so. I mean, there's some updates in the betas but nothing we haven't really already covered and talked about. So we can kind of move on to the questions. I will say there was another, again, they report on like the smallest thing, but there was another, in the tvOS beta 26, so apparently they removed the word HomeKit reference and replaced it with Apple Home. That's maybe significant, maybe not. It does seem like they're kind of, getting everything towards Apple Home. So maybe, just maybe there's going to be some really big Apple Home stuff coming in the very near future. It kind of seems like that's the way we're going, but, who knows? Rumors, right? Let's see. Beto, I see your question. I'm flagging the question, guys. So, only ask once every so often, and I will come back to all the questions. But to answer your question best I can, Beto, what's your, thoughts on WLED into HomeKit via HomeBridge, since they have way more DIY options? I personally have not used WLED myself. I've thought about it, but it's just, I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of just, dare I say, more trouble than it's worth. I mean, you can do some really cool customizations with them. I think for the right installation, I would explore WLED, but personally, I just haven't had a need to do that. I actually was thinking about it for this garage project that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to be putting some light strips in certain places, but it's just so much easier for me just to get, a light strip front, out of the box. Works with Matter, works with Apple Home or whatever. So that's typically what I do. But if you do have an installation or you do prefer to use WLED for whatever reason, you want to do all the crazy effects and different things like that, I don't know if it works in HomeBridge. I would assume maybe, but I don't know. I have not tried that. I know it supports Home Assistant. So if you use Home Assistant, I'm sure you could get that into HomeKit through Home Assistant. But I'm not 100% sure about HomeBridge. Jason says another rumor via Bloomberg today. Apple said to be working on a ring-like doorbell and smart cameras. Oh man, more rumors. Here we go again. Let me see if I can find that. I mean, this rumor is, I've actually made a video, and I don't talk about these rumors much in videos, but I did a video, it was at least 6 months ago, because I wanted to talk about all these updates and rumors and things we're hearing and where Apple is probably going. So I did make one video about that, and I talked about these rumors back then. So that's been something we've heard about for a while. Let's see, 2 hours ago. And of course, I don't have a subscription for this, so I can't look at that article. 58 minutes ago, here we go, Apple Insider. Let's take a look at this together. That's the first I've seen this as well. Apple's reportedly gearing up for a major push in the smart home market. We've been saying this for, I don't know, a while. Potentially adding ring-like doorbell paired with smart lock and smart camera system to a larger suite of connected devices. The new smart camera, codename J450, is currently being tested by Apple. Supposedly, said camera will be a direct competitor to the current devices on the market, like those made by Eufy, Vivint, and SimpliSafe. Multiple cameras are meant to be placed around the house, similar to HomePod Mini, and could help automate other HomeKit compatible gear. It reportedly features facial recognition and infrared sensors to detect who's in a room. According to Bloomberg, Apple is planning to develop multiple types of cameras as part of an early new hardware and software lineup. Let's see. The device is reportedly designed to function as a home hub. Let's see, anything else? Okay, that's all we got. No dates or anything. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of just more of the same rumors, I guess. I don't know. I don't get too excited about the rumors like that because we could literally be hearing about those rumors for years. I'm going to try not to go on a rumor rant again today because, you know, how long have we been talking about the HomePad, the new home device with a screen? Just a couple years now, and we're still waiting. So anyways, I like to focus and enjoy what we have here, but it is certainly fun to get excited about new stuff. And I really do hope that we are right on the brink of Apple releasing some really awesome new smart home devices and really put a big focus on HomeKit or Apple Home, whatever you want to call it. It is overdue, and they could really take a hold of that space, the smart home space, I think, if they do it, when they do it. And I hope they're waiting so that they can do it right when they do it. What do you guys think? Will Apple return to CES for this stuff? Apple does not usually attend CES or participate in that stuff at all. Oh, no worries, Bento. Just saw your comment there. Appreciate you watching. Just found a WLED. Yeah, a WLED is pretty cool if you're really into customizing stuff, custom installations and effects and things. Definitely check out WLED. Like I said, I just have not experimented with it myself yet. But I could definitely see some scenarios or installations where I would probably want to do that. I just haven't come across that yet in my own setup. All right, I'm flagging some questions. Turin wants me to rant, a rumor rant. I guess I did a little bit there. Thanks, Frederick. Frederick said, hit the like button. I appreciate that, Frederick. And thank you guys for moderators for helping out here today. Raul, what's up, Raul? Vacationing in Orlando. Very nice. Awesome, man. Thanks for joining us on your vacation. I hope you and the family are having a good time. Has my pillow recovered after the beating it took? That was an Instagram thing there. Yeah, probably not. All right, some other questions here I got saved. Answered that one. DK says, Aqara camera when I'm home, can the Aqara camera be off automatically? I think is what you're trying to ask. So yes, there's a few ways you can do this. You can, I'm pretty sure Aqara has location-based automations that you can configure in the Aqara app. So you should be able to do that there. You can also do this in HomeKit. And in HomeKit, it's really easy to just go into your camera settings in the Apple Home app, go to the camera settings, and you just go to the recording options, and you can either stream, you can stream only, stream and record, or only detect motion for like automations and stuff, or have the camera off completely. And you can set those to be different for when you're home or when you're away. So you can have it set to turn, be off when you're home and record when you leave the house. Garza Plays ask, recommendation for a motion sensor for my laundry room. I want it to turn on the light when motion is sensed and turn off automatically if no motion after 10 minutes. Yeah, there's a bunch of motion sensors you can use. Motion light automations are a bit tricky. Excuse me. Let's see. I have in my laundry room, I've been using this one. Let me see if I can pull it up. I've been using this one, the Aqara FP1E. I've been using this in my laundry room. It's pretty good at, it's an occupancy sensor. So I like using occupancy sensors for motion sensors these days, most of the time, just depending on, I guess, the automation. But most of the time I like using the occupancy sensors. There's a few of them out there that you can use. Let's see, do I have one at my desk? No, I do not. But there is a wireless one from LaFair that you can get. This one does require a power outlet. You got to plug it in, and this one does also require an Aqara hub. So you do have to have one of the Aqara hubs like you see right here for this one, but it connects over Zigbee, and it's a very basic sensor, so it doesn't do like the zones and all that kind of stuff, but it sounds like you probably don't need that just for your laundry room, just a simple sensor to put in there. That's the one I'm using. Again, there's quite a few out there that you could use. Oh, Lord. And look what you started. Caroline says, please fix ours in the laundry room. Oh, boy. We could have a whole show probably about automations and things going haywire. So what's wrong with the automation in the laundry room? Please tell me, Caroline, and I'll get right on it. George says, they just all recycle info. Yeah, talking about sources from Apple news sites. Yeah, like it's a good point. Like the Thread 1.4 in the Apple TV OS 26 beta. Like I've tried like crazy to find like where that is officially stated or where that started, and I'm not sure, but yeah, that would be nice. It's delayed. Okay, so I got to adjust the sensitivity. It sounds like it was working really well for a while, and I can't remember what changed with that automation. I might have, what did change? I don't know. I think I'd actually changed the settings because it was too sensitive at first. So I think I just need to adjust the sensitivity. Let's see. The things that wives hate. Yeah, Caroline. She moves through the house like a ninja. Baba isn't trolling. Asked, do you think Apple Doorbell will include Face ID to unlock your smart lock with HomeKit support? Again, we can speculate and go on about, I'm going to try not to go on another rumor rant. It's so early now that who really knows? I mean, yes, I don't know if they would allow, like right now, your cameras support, your HomeKit cameras support facial recognition. You just can't use that in automations. So, will it have facial recognition? Probably. Will you be able to use that in your automations, like to unlock your doorbell? I don't know. At this point, no. I personally don't think we're gonna see an Apple Home doorbell, a doorbell camera made by Apple anytime in the next like year, probably longer. I could always be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just my thoughts on that. But yeah, who knows what you'll be able to do. They definitely need to, if they start coming up with devices like this, hopefully they'll make the ecosystem, the platform, automations, and all that stuff a little bit more robust. So maybe we will be able to do stuff like that. But I don't know. Okay, let me get to some of these other questions. Thank you for your patience too. If you asked a question, I'm saving them and trying to get to as many as we can. Mark asked, with 1.4.2 would matter, how would Netgear router with, say, IoT networks work with this? So I don't know. I mean, it really wouldn't be anything for the router to do unless your router supports Matter, which I don't know. I guess there's some out there maybe that do, which is kind of a different thing. But yeah, it's not really anything for you really to worry about with your router, I don't think. Do we know what the maximum number of rules is? Recently capped out and had to use the Eve app to find a bunch of old redundant rules, mostly remote button assignments. Yeah, I think, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say it's 100, but I don't know if I'm confusing that with scenes. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, you can use the Eve app to see... trying to see if I can find... I know there's a 100 scene limit. I'm not 100% sure what the automation limit is. And I think by rules you're referring to automations. Yeah, but you can use the Eve app, and so Apple does this thing within the Apple Home app where they kind of hide certain automations, like button automations and certain things that you may not actually see that you may have set up in the past or something. And you can use the Eve app as a great way to see all of your HomeKit automations. I also really like the controller for HomeKit app. They have a feature in there that lets you actually see. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hope that doesn't mess up my stream at all. Let's see if I can pull up and just show you this maintenance section, which is really cool. Let's see. So yeah, here we go. And so this is the controller for HomeKit app on the Mac. And you can see I'm in the maintenance section right here, and there's all kinds of stuff here. Like, I definitely need to do some maintenance on my smart home, but you can see under the automations inactive, you can look at this and you can see I've got 29 inactive automations right here that I could probably delete most of, or 24. You got invalid configurations. God, that's kind of alarming. So look at, yeah, most of these is probably devices that I've deleted and don't show up in the Apple Home app anymore, and I just didn't realize they were there, so I might need to do some work on this. But you can also see your scene limit. You can look at all your scenes. So there is a 100 scene limit, and the controller for HomeKit app is good for that kind of maintenance too. So I should probably use it more for that kind of stuff. Frederick says, love controller for HomeKit app as it finds tons of issues for me. Yeah, it just gave me some homework. It looks like I need to fix some stuff. Some love for the controller for HomeKit app in here. Yeah, it is a paid app, so it's not the most of, it's not the cheapest app, but if you're a heavy HomeKit user, I'd say it's definitely worth it. Most people, as you can see in the chat here, speak really highly of it, so give it a go. I got the lifetime license. If you're able to get the lifetime license, it's probably worth it. It's a very robust app for HomeKit, and you can use it on the Mac. You can use it on your iPhone, any of your Apple devices. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, gadget reviews might have some cleanup now too. Yeah, they have run discounts. That's a good point for the controller for HomeKit app. They did, was that Black Friday last year? Yeah, they have run discounts before. So it does happen. But, I'd say, like, again, if you're really getting deep into HomeKit or, it's a good tool to have, even for just for the maintenance stuff, but you can also, you can do more with the automations actually in there, and they are HomeKit automations, but you have more control over what you can do with your automations. So stuff like that. Classic Zero says 100% worth the purchase there. So yeah, and you can also use it as what they call hub mode. So let's just talk about it for a little bit. I'll pull up, see if I can find their website. Yeah, so since we're talking about it, controller for HomeKit. So let's just talk about some of the things you can do with the app. If you are interested, you got the floor plan view, so you can actually, I did a video on this a while ago. You can actually use your iPhone or iPad to scan the house and create a floor plan like this. If you want to use this for like a dashboard, you can do that. Workflows is kind of like a little more advanced automations, I guess you could say. They do have advanced automations, which is essentially just Apple Home automations. This is utilizing the HomeKit framework, but gives you more access to it than the Apple Home app does. So that's nice. You can do these advanced notification or custom notifications, which is cool. Backup features, the maintenance stuff we just talked about, widgets, smart folders. So it's good if you want to organize your Apple Home stuff, which I need to do. Mine is a little unorganized right now. In the hub mode, this was I did a video on, did I do a full video on hub mode? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did a full video on hub mode. Sometimes I forget. I've done so many different videos on some of the stuff, but it went not that long ago. So this is their newest feature, and as the Classic Zero said, you can use an old Apple device like an iPhone and use it in a hub mode. Basically, it's just always on. Mine is tucked away in a closet, and I can run automations. You can actually run personal shortcuts through your HomeKit automations, which is not something you can do any other way, unfortunately, because personal shortcuts require an iPhone or a personal device versus your HomePods or Apple TV, your home devices. So with hub mode, you can kind of get the best of both worlds, and you can have, like, let's say a sensor trigger a personal shortcut on that iPhone and have access to a lot more features, a lot more actions, a lot more of like the shortcut actions there on your iPhone. Nice. Michael Lewis, have an iPad running in hub mode. Love the capability. Love the creative auto. I think you did. Yeah, I did. And it wasn't that long ago. Like I said, that was their most recent update, and it was significant enough that I felt it would make a good video. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up. I have to search my own. Let's see. Ah, yep, there it is. Oh wow, that was 7 months ago. So hub mode, 7 months ago. HomeKit automation just got way more powerful. Yep, and that's because you could tie in personal shortcuts. So there you go. It's there if anybody wants more details on that. And George, I see you chatting in the chat here. Just moved again, so I guess that means we can expect another smart home tour in the near future from George. Well, we got YouTube pulled up. Y'all be sure to go check out George's YouTube channel if you have not already. Smart home tour 5 months ago. And like every 5 months we get a new smart home tour because George just cannot stay in one place very long. But we got a lot of good security videos and stuff. A lot of Apple Home related content there on George's channel. Definitely go check him out if you have not already. All right, let me see what other questions we got here saved in the queue. Roborock Q Revo vacuum mop. Does it work in Apple Home? I'm not sure if the Q Revo supports Matter. I know their latest one does, not the Q Revo, but let's see. Q Revo Curve. Let's see, which one did you say? So yeah, I guess it depends. Some of them will. Looks like. See if I can find the list for you. So this is it says these currently support Matter. So some of the Q Revos do, and there's probably been more since this list came out. But yeah, some of the Q Revos from Roborock do support Matter. That's all you need. Just got to look for that Matter support or update. A lot of these vacuums, especially these older ones, will be an update, and you'll see that Matter support as an option there, and then you can add it to Apple Home. Keenan, awesome. I use the nap mode to run nap times for my kid's room. It changes the colors of some lights to let him know when he can get up. I can trigger it with the bottom push as well as webhook shortcut. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've said many times I wish I was into smart home tech and stuff like that when I had kids. My kids are older now. My youngest is just started high school. The oldest just had his own kid, so you know, you're talking to a grandpa here. But yeah, I actually set up a smart nursery for a friend a couple years ago, and it would have been so cool, like so useful to have a lot of the smart home tech, or just basic automations and stuff. Doesn't have to be expensive or anything, but just to be able to utilize some of that stuff with a baby, you know, nap times and feedings and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I'm officially an old man now. I guess so. Grandma Caroline, that's right. Yeah, now it's time to do it for your grandkid. Yeah, maybe. We did do so I made a video, that video I was talking, well, I mentioned a couple years ago, setting up the smart room, the smart nursery for a friend. And one of the coolest things is we got a smart crib that went in there, and that thing is incredible. It's made by Cradlewise. It like mimics the it has all these sensors, detects when babies are waking up and stuff, and it'll start moving, and it like mimics the movement of a mother rocking a kid, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Cameras built in, AirPlay support. It's insane. But we got that for our friend, and I believe they're going to be handing that down to the grandkid here soon. So, but they've been using that smart crib for the last couple of years, ever since we set that up. I don't know, man. I haven't, like, I just have not landed on a grandpa name. So y'all can help me out. I don't know. I haven't figured. I just feel too young to be grandpa. So I just, nothing seems right. Some of the ones I thought that I'd like, I'm like, that just doesn't seem right. I don't know. So hit me with your best suggestions. We'll see. I got some time before she starts talking. So. A smart home idea list for parents with young kids. Not really, but I think I did actually make a, there might be an old Amazon, what do you call it? Like a folder or something collection that I created on my Amazon page. But there's a video. Let me see if I can find the video on my channel. You can just like search for videos on certain channels. So you go to my channel and search nursery. I think we'll find it. Yeah, there it is. Setting up a smart nursery. This one right here. Here, I'll post it in the chat if you want to check it out after this video. Maybe it'll give you some ideas as you are, and congratulations, by the way. Expecting in 2 weeks. Very exciting, yeah. Maybe that'll give you some ideas there. What does Caroline think of Grandma Caroline? I don't know. Is Caroline still in the chat? I think she might have dipped out. I don't think she's still here. Yeah, she kind of hadn't really decided either. I think she's just gonna go with Grandma or something. You know, it's kind of funny when, you know, you see a little kid call somebody like her grandma. So I might just roll with it. Maybe I'll be Grandpa. Big Papa. Yeah, that would be awesome until they get a little older. It will feel a little weird to have like a teenage grandchild calling me Big Papa. It's not gonna be well. G-Pa, Overlord. Oh man, these are some good ones. Homepa Shane, Papa Shane, Dan says. Grandpa Hat. That's funny. That could be me. That is funny. Grandpa Hat. Maybe I'll go with that. Some good ones there. Definitely room for thought. John says, my Aqara presence sensor turns on but will not turn off. I reset it and deleted an Apple HomeKit, and we did the automations and it still won't work. Could it be it just went bad? Yeah, I mean, I'd say if you've done a factory reset and like removed it from Apple Home and then re-added it and it's still not working right, that should fix everything there. Unless, you know, maybe there's some issues with Apple Home on the HomeKit side, but if everything else is working fine, it's just the sensor, then a factory reset should solve anything that's fixable. Mama G, Home Pop. Hey, I like that. Home Pop. Pappy, keep it traditional. Yeah, I always wanted to be called Pappy because that's what I call my grandpa, who I went and did a little smart home thing for a couple years ago. We just visited him recently. He's 89. We'll be 89 this year. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'd like to take on that legacy, Pappy. But again, it just, I don't know, man. I don't feel like I'm old enough to be a Pappy yet, but who knows? Poop hat. Okay. Gramps. Oh, nice. Yeah, good suggestion there. Check the firmware. Okay, good point. Gadget Review said, I noticed this with mine after a new firmware update to the sensor. I'm wondering if it's the new firmware. Oh, and yeah, it could have been a firmware update that caused the problem. That could also be the case. HomePop. Hey man, I like the way it sounds. We might have a winner there. Larry, what's up, Larry? Says happy Wednesday. Thanks for your patience too. I know I'm trying to get to these comments. Are you running any of the public betas on any of your test devices? I know you're not running them on your main devices. Just wondering what you think of the liquid glass. I'm not. I actually just installed it on my wall-mounted iPad, which is not like a primary device. I really haven't played around with it a whole lot. I just use that iPad as a display. And the reason I updated that is because I'm using a beta on this dashboard app that I was kind of playing around with, and I wanted to play with some of those settings because they supported some of the new liquid glass features and stuff. Anyways, that's the only device that I've been using it on aside from my Apple TVs. I have updated my Apple TVs to the betas because I wanted to test that thread stuff we were talking about earlier. But yeah, liquid glass, I mean, it's okay. I haven't used it enough. Like, I haven't updated my primary iPhone and stuff. So I haven't used it enough to say whether I love it or hate it yet. I know there's kind of two camps probably in that regard. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I have not, definitely don't update my Mac. That would, doing live streams and editing videos and stuff, I can't afford. I usually don't even update my Apple TVs and stuff to the betas just because we have so many home devices, and it did give me some issues this time around too, so I usually regret installing betas. I know everybody wants to get like the latest and greatest, man, but I say if you can wait, unless you have a really good reason to, just wait till September. It'll be here before you know it. But I know y'all are going to install the betas anyways. It's so tempting. Let's see. Curious Sam asked this a little while ago. What stuff have you currently moved into Home Assistant? Asking because for things like Aqara sensors, we need to remove them from HomeKit first, so I wanted to check if you did that. Okay, so yeah, for certain things, you do have to do that, right? If you want it to show up in HomeKit and Home Assistant, you have to remove it from HomeKit and then add it to Home Assistant, and then expose it back to HomeKit through Home Assistant, through the HomeKit integration in Home Assistant. I've only really done that for a few devices, mainly like certain devices that are HomeKit only devices, like I think my Ecobee thermostat maybe. There's a few here and there that I did that for, maybe some, I have a couple of devices that are like HomeKit over Thread, but not Matter. So the benefit with Matter is that you don't have to do that, right? So with Matter devices, and I have a lot of Matter devices at this point, you can add things through Matter to multiple ecosystems all at the same time, which you may be aware of that. So the same thing's really true with Aqara, the Aqara sensors. So I like to use an Aqara bridge or an Aqara hub for all my sensors. So I do like the Zigbee sensors that from Aqara. They're just tried and true. They work really well. Zigbee's been super reliable and stuff from the Aqara devices for me. So I use the Zigbee sensors, connect them to the hub, and then I integrate the hub through Matter. You can integrate it into Home Assistant, into HomeKit, really anywhere. Homey Pro, multiple places through Matter, and you don't have to remove it from HomeKit to do that. So that's how I'm integrating my Aqara devices. I did not have to remove everything from HomeKit because I'm using the Home Assistant. I'm using the Matter integration. iPop. Hey, that's a good one. Y'all are tripping me out with these names. Trying to catch up here. Apple Pop. Not a fan of liquid glass, Trent says. Coming in late, Doug. What's up, Doug? You made it just in time. I appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out here for a while. Let me see. Before we go, let's do something fun. I'm gonna gift 5 memberships. So I know we have a lot of channel members in here already. Thank you guys so much for your support. As a thank you to everybody else for tuning in and joining the stream, we're gonna gift 5 memberships, and YouTube's gonna just like randomly pick these. I think it might be based on engagement and stuff like that, comments on who these go out to, but we're gonna do that now. And let's see if that worked. All right, there we go. Gifted 5 memberships. So as a channel member, if you didn't know, you have access to our member-only Discord, which is an awesome place. If you have questions, just want to hang out, we do a monthly video chat over there. And I'm in there every day and, trying to interact with people, and everybody's great in there. So if you have questions or you're setting up your own smart home, want some advice, or just share your experience, definitely check out the Discord server. But you also get early access to new videos. There are some member-only videos that I post as well, like more like behind the scenes kind of stuff like that, that you can get as a member. And let's see, I think there's some other perks, like perks. There's some other perks. But yeah, check it out, and you get a few of you. Let's see, Curious Sam, Austin, Ellen, Upa. Sorry if I butcher your name. Jeff, you guys got a free membership. So yeah, take advantage of that. You have a month. Basically, it's like a month trial, I guess, with that free membership, and you can stick around after that or not. Thank you, Ben. Ben says, definitely worth the $5 and supports the channel. It does support the channel, so I appreciate that very much. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I hope that the membership also provides a little bit of value to you guys as well for supporting the channel. So, once again, thank you all for the support. I did just post a members only video behind the scenes about a week ago or so. So I'm gonna try to do some more of that stuff. And we've got a lot of good stuff coming too. Some new stuff coming. I'm very excited about. I'm going to be sharing more with you very soon. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great week. Thank you so much for hanging out, and God bless.